Hello, thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Eric, we were talking a bit backstage. It sounds like Ledger is having a very exciting 2018 so far. Can you tell us a little bit about what's new?
Yes, well, we have had also a very good 2017 where with the explosion of the crypto market, our products, which are hardware wallets, digital safes, has been very popular. We have sold more than 1 million units in 165 countries. And we are mostly known for this hardware wallet as a consumer product. This year, we have decided to focus more on the enterprise markets and to bring solutions for key management for hedge funds, financial institutions who want to secure their funds. So this is what we are focusing on this year.
So the enterprise-focused wallet, where are you in the production versus sale of that?
So it's called the Ledger Vault, and it's a SaaS solution. So it's really off-the-shelf solutions that we manage. And we have launched it a month ago with our early access program, where basically we offer a solution to do the key management with governance, where you can have many cryptocurrency accounts and you can manage all the payments with multi-authorization, time locks, rate limiters. And so we are onboarding now our first customers. And we plan to do a more general availability of the solution in September or October.
But you're not moving away from the consumer ledger hardware either?
No. Basically, we have a 3 steps strategy. The first step is the hardware wallet that we started in 2014 and which has been quite successful last year and that we continue to produce. We have a lot of a big roadmap on the new products for the hardware wallets. The second step is more enterprise, as I said, with SaaS solution, and it will be a subject of this year and, of course, for the years to come. And the third step, which is more, let's say, focused on the future, is about IoT and connected objects, where basically you can imagine a future where you have a lot of IoT devices. It can be a car, it can be a gate, it can be energy situation. All these objects will need to do transactions, to do contracts with each other, and our technology can enable them to do securely these transactions. So we think it's going to take a few years before it becomes really mainstream, but we are working with big industrials right now on all these future solutions.
So you've just raised $75 million. You have all of these ambitious plans. What are you immediately putting the money to use towards?
So we believe there are massive opportunities on the cryptocurrency and blockchain markets. And we need to move forward fast and efficiently, and we need to execute. We have a very strong technology. The market is here. The product fit is here. And now we need to scale. And so this is what we are doing. We have hired 100 people in the last 6 to 8 months. So Ledger is scaling very fast. And most of the investments that we are doing are precisely into hiring and also into building laboratories of research in security where we can really improve the security of our products, where we can build the standards that we're going to use to certify all our offering.
Let's talk about security for a minute. I think about 2 years ago, TechCrunch wrote about you, said Ledger might be the most secure wallet. And then this year, you've had a couple of well-publicized hacks or breaches in security. As you get more successful, how do you think about maintaining that reputation for security and safeguarding?
Well, there is no such thing as perfect security. And the only way, it's always a game of cat and mouse. And you will always have hackers who will find vulnerabilities. You will always have new way of securing our devices. And what we are doing is investing into the security, into laboratory to attack ourselves, our devices. We also have a bounty program. And our goal is to work with security researchers worldwide to help us find these vulnerabilities and reward them with bounties. We have recently made a contest that we call a Catch the Flag that we have sent to dozens of security laboratories in the world where at the end we send them, let's say, a simplified version of the NanoS without the pin, with a bounty on it. It was 2.337 Bitcoin. And we have one team this weekend who managed to, let's say, get back the private key. And what the good news for us is not only is going to help us to strengthen the security, but also it took like 2 months with a full laboratory to work onto this specific project to be able to crack it. So it means that we have now very good level of security, and we are quite confident that we are going to add the security to our products to make it very, very strong.
How much of a target do you feel like you have on your back, both from hackers and from competitors?
Well, we are using distributed solutions. It's not that at Ledger we have a safe with billions of dollars in it, because then I would think that I would have indeed a very big target on my back. But it's about distributed safes. For instance, what is critical is the firmware updates. We have to make sure that we cannot release a firmware that will leak the keys or something like that. So the questions that we often have is, how do we make sure that we cannot get forced to release an update that could be a wrong one or with a hack inside? So we have governance inside. And basically, this governance that we are using with multi-signature, with a lot of fail-safe to make sure that it's not possible to release a firmware without the authorization from all the management, is the same technology that we are using now on the security of the enterprise funds. And regarding competition, we do have some competition. On the consumer side, we have the hardware wallets with Treasure, of KeepKey, very good products. And also on the enterprise side, it's more about company like Gemalto or Thales or a big security company who can work on building solutions that could be the same than ours. But we believe that we have a big advance on our competition, and that we are going to keep all this advance for minimum 18 to 24 months, because we have a very strong technology, and that's why we need to really work on executing and going fast. And that's why we have raised a large amount of money in the beginning of the year.
Can you talk a little bit more about other steps you're taking to make sure that if Gemalto, for example, decides to come into the market, you don't wind up as the BlackBerry to their iPhone?
Yes. So Gemalto is a French company with a lot of knowledge in hardware security. We are working with them with their hardware security module, the HSM, which basically is a server-side security product that we use for the vault. And they could also decide to go on the crypto market. But right now, there are numbers of, let's say, barriers that prevent them to go fully. The first one is that all the crypto security market right now is much about consumers. This is where there is the biggest line of business. And Gemalto or Thales or others are not really consumer electronics-oriented company. The second reason is that cryptocurrency is, from a reputational point of view, not very easy. All these big companies are working usually with banks or states, so they're not ready to go full crypto. I'm not sure, it's not in their culture. And the third reason is that Gemalto, Thales, IDEMIA, other companies are spending a lot of time in mergers, acquisition, and so innovation is moving very slowly. And that's why we believe we have this 18 months window where Ledger can really accelerate and ultimately become a very big technological company by itself.
Can we talk a little bit about hardware versus software? You got to prominence making a hardware-oriented product in an otherwise very software-based space, and your background is mostly in software. So what are some of the unique challenges and opportunities you've faced while building up Ledger?
Well, when we started Ledger, we introduced a hardware wallet. So we introduced the fact that you need a hardware device to secure your cryptocurrency, to secure your Bitcoins. Because when we started, it was mostly about Bitcoin. And the first answer that we got was incredulity. People say, why do I need a hardware device when we are speaking about a virtual currency, that we are speaking about the cloud? So people really didn't understand the necessity of it. But little by little, the position on that has changed, because people have understood that First of all, cryptocurrencies are more physical than what we can see, because possession of cryptocurrency is knowledge of an information. It's like a bearer bond. It's really something that you can have, that you know, and so you really need to secure it. And with all the hacks and the loss of money in many exchanges, and other people understood that it was a real issue. And a second phenomenon is last year, when you have seen all the explosion of the crypto market, many newbies, many new entrants into this market didn't understand, wanted to have something to see, something to own, something to touch, because it's not easy to understand Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. And so there was a lot of a psychological effect to reinsuring to have this hardware wallet that you can touch, that you can own. And so I think it helped a lot of people to go into the cryptocurrency space. And it's true that hardware is hard, and usually it's hard for a company to raise money when you are doing hardware because of the cost, because of many reasons, and there have been a lot of failures in the hardware space for startups. So it's true that it's a real challenge, but with such a big market that we are addressing, let's say it was good enough to convince VCs, which were not usually so keen into hardware, to come help Ledger and help us achieve our vision.
How did you figure out the manufacturing and the supply chain and just making the best hardware product you could?
Well, we come from the smart card industry, so from the point of view of the security, we really had a very good team of experts. We are a French company, and most of the know-how in secure hardware is French. So for once, being French is good. It really helped us. And after, regarding the industrialization, it has been quite crazy, because in 2017, we thought that we would be selling between 50,000 to 100,000 units in 1 year, and we ended selling 1 million units. So it completely exploded our supply chain, and this was the biggest challenge that we had last year, which was to scale. But thankfully, we had a very good team, and we were able to tackle all the challenge one by one. But regarding logistics, regarding supply chain, regarding industrialization, it's not easy. We had to move some of the production in China through an electronic manufacturer services, but we are doing everything that we can to put back all the production in France. We have invested 8 million euros into our own factory, and we are hoping to produce most of our hardware directly in France.
And from a customer perspective, there was an incident a couple of months ago where Ledger customers couldn't access their Bitcoin Cash for a couple of days. How much of an impact does that have on your customer reputation, and what do you do to rebuild customer trust after something like that?
It's more and more difficult, because now we have millions of users, and we are supporting I don't have the exact number, but more than 40 cryptocurrencies, and we're adding more and more. And sometimes you have issues. It can be the issues that come from the cryptocurrency itself, or issue with Ledger. But anyway, from the point of view of the customer, doesn't care. We have to bring back the service. And it's true that we have had a lot of issues in the beginning of the year, which was all the results of the very quick scalabilities that we had to do. And I guess it's the same for many companies who had to endure all this scalability at the price of the customer experience. And at Ledger, we also had these bad experiences. We had thousands of tickets every day. We didn't have enough customer agents. So what we have done and what we do to rebuild the trust and to make sure that our customers have the highest level of satisfaction is to invest. To invest into people, into a customer success team, to invest into engineering, into infrastructure, to make sure that you can double, triple your infrastructure to have the highest level of services possible. And this is really our goal. With Ledger, we are really trying to build a strong brand for consumers, and the only way to achieve that is by bringing the highest level of quality for the services.
You signed a deal, or you announced a partnership with Intel in October. What can you tell us about how that's progressing and what you're doing with them?
So Intel is manufacturing microprocessors with secure enclave. And it means basically that in the future, it can take a few years, you will be able to have a hardware wallet directly into your PC. You will not have to get your a specific piece of hardware. We will have the possibility to have our operating system, our secure operating system, running directly into the secure enclave, into the SGX extension, and that will be a possibility to help mainstream adoption. Unfortunately, it will still take some time before it can really be ready for general public.
About how much time, ballpark? When would you expect us to see that?
It can be anything from 2 to 5 years, depending on the adoption of the technology, because it's hard to say the pace of adoption of consumer electronic technology. It depends on how Intel will be able to have this SGX extension everywhere into all the PCs.
How interested are you in continuing to look for other big established tech companies to work with or to partner with?
Well, we have recently announced another partnership regarding custodianship of funds. So we are working with Nomura, which is a big Japanese bank. And so this is a way for us to also bring, let's say, end-to-end solution for custodianship of funds for financial institutions. Because the Ledger Vault is about self-custody, and by doing partnership with big banks, such as Nomura, we have the possibility to provide with a full custodian services for hedge funds who really wants to give all the funds to a third party. So this kind of big partnerships is exactly what we are going what we are doing, trying to continue in the future with banks and also with industrials to build the future of IoT and blockchain security solutions.
So we've got a minute left. You're 4 years old. You've just announced a big Series B round. You've just outlaid a lot of ambitious plans. A year from now, if you're sitting on this stage, what do you want to be saying about where Ledger is and where the broader crypto industry and market is?
Well, maybe in 2 years, because it will take some time. We are hoping that Ledger will emerge as a real technological giant and providing the best available security solutions for individual, enterprise, and industrials. So we believe that there is a big opportunity that Ledger can really redefine a new way for European technological company, and so we are going to work very hard to have this vision executed properly.
Wonderful. And crypto at large?
And crypto at large, I'm very bullish into cryptocurrencies. All of that we are building is to build the fabric of cryptocurrency and blockchain applications. So I'm pretty sure that even 1 year from now, the cryptocurrency market will be much bigger than what it is now.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.